Jazz singer Nathan Hartono used to think that Chinese music was uncool, but something changed his mind. Find out what in this segment. Have you ever considered going into Mandopop? Because you surely have the pretty boy looks for the Taiwan market.
Well, when I first started out, right, they actually wanted me to do Chinese songs a lot. They really pressed me for it mostly because, you know, when audiences see a Chinese face, they want to hear a Chinese voice come out, right?
Can you speak Mandarin, by the way?
I can speak Mandarin, yeah. I just choose not to. But yeah, so I've always been very close-minded about this Chinese thing that for a very large part of my career.
You don't listen to J Cho or any of that?
No, none of that stuff, you know, because a lot of people have that kind of stigma towards Chinese music that it's uncool, it's not, you know, it's not American, it's not hip, you know. But I think, you know, I thought about it for a while and I realized, you know, that's what people think about jazz as well. So I decided to give Chinese a chance, you know, just try to listen to some songs, you know, like maybe ask some people who I know who listen to Chinese music just for good suggestions. And I realized over the last year that, you know, there's a whole world of music that I just haven't discovered yet.
So you've considered it?
Yeah, I've considered actually. Okay. Not going full-fledged into Chinese songs, you know, but maybe I actually did Stephanie Sun's concert a few months back, and
I heard about that.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of women were gushing in the crowd for you, yeah.
Mostly, yeah. And she asked me to do a Chinese song, you know, because we both shared a same vocal teacher from a long time ago. So she knew that I didn't like to sing Chinese, so she used this and asked me to sing Chinese, so I had to. So that's when I started looking around, and that's when I discovered this whole new world of music. And when I actually went on stage and sang that Chinese song, I was scared off my words, but you know, it was good fun. And again, music is music, so.
So was that like your first time singing a Chinese song?
Very first debut, and it had to be at the indoor stadium. So it was very nerve-wracking.
So what was the response after that?
Were
people surprised?
Yeah, a lot of them were actually very surprised. You know, I even said it on stage. You know, it's my first time singing Chinese. Go easy on me, you know. A lot of them were surprised. A lot of them, you know, they actually they wouldn't mind hearing more. So, to me, the Chinese market is not ruled out at all.
Okay. Now, speaking of Stephanie Sun, how was that entire experience like? I heard it was like a pretty packed stadium, yeah?
It was a packed stadium. I believe it was sold out, and they had to add more seats. To me, that performance, I thought it was a good opportunity, you know, to get my name out, you know, to, you know, perform in front of thousands of people, you know, be famous. But when I actually did that show, it was more of a learning process for me. It was a really big learning process because I got to see how the big time works, you know, more or less. And I even got a chance to speak to her at some points of time. And, you know, the things that I learned throughout the process of that show, you know, from, you know, just sitting on a makeup chair or speaking to her or like waiting backstage or going up on a hydraulic stage, which was pretty cool, first time I did that. It was just a very big learning experience for me musically, professionally, as a person. You know, I learned a lot. And because when people look at Stephanie Sun, they see one of Singapore's greatest exports. And a lot of Singaporean musicians aspire to be, you know, reach her level of success.
Now, last question. How would you respond to critics who scoff that you owe your success to your family's financial background?
Well, it's always been a bit of a question about that, you know, but I believe, right, if I never had, you know, all this around me, you know, as you can see, I'm pretty well off, you know, I don't need much materially. So, I believe if I never had any of these financial, you know, opportunities or anything like that, I believe I would have still went towards the same path, you know, because I've always loved music since I was a kid, you know. We started out pretty humble, just so you know, it blasted out at some point. So even when I was a kid, I really loved music, and something like that can't be aided by how much money you have, or like, you know, how many vocal coaches you have, or how many like thousands of CDs you have. A love for music can sprout out from anybody at any time. And it doesn't matter how like financially well off you are. As long as you have that passion, it could happen and it will happen. Just it for me, maybe, you know, the opportunity came and it happened for me earlier at the age of 13 and 14. So yeah, I wouldn't actually factor in the fact that that my family is well off to my success, but has definitely played some part in it because, you know, they're very supportive. I have my face on my wall and all these things. And in one sense, I'm very thankful for what I have. And I never one day, you know, like squander it off. You know, I'm thankful for what I have. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the means I was brought up in. But in some sense, I always believe that, you know, people need that opportunity no matter what. Because that love for music is there. All you need is that extra push to go for it. And it doesn't have to be a monetary push, as long as it's some kind of support. So that's why the CD is actually going to, some of the proceeds are actually going to charity, the Children's Society, because I had that opportunity. I had the means to have that opportunity. And it doesn't matter how many CDs I sell, I'm really okay materialistically. So I decided it's better to just have the proceeds of the CD go to kids that actually have a boatload of talent, but not much of the means to get, you know, to that level that they want to, you know.
Looks like Nathan has big dreams to fulfill, but will he succeed if he does cross over to Mandopop? Perhaps we'll find out soon.